Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close out today's show in the fastest 90 minutes on outdoor radio programming. And Ron Wong has kept his seatbelt on for most of the show.
Absolutely.
We haven't talked much about food, but we have talked a lot about fishing.
And that's great.
Yeah, that's three
awesome.
F's, Ron, is food, fishing, and free. I mean, that's his three favorite words, I think. Did you think about that?
Food,
fishing, and free.
yes.
That's three words, Ron.
And fun.
And fun. Well, I got four words.
Oh, wait a minute. Got to have fun.
Oh, I didn't have any F's in college. But anyway, hey, we're going to continue right now with our good friend Steve McAdams from Kentucky Lake. Only been guiding a couple of years up there, so he's just now learning to get back in the saddle. But no, he's been up there. I don't know. What year is this, Steve?
42, I think, but I quit counting about 30 years ago.
Oh, okay. So at least
Years don't count.
Yeah, more than 4 decades. That even sounds longer, when you think about it and everything. But
I wonder where the time's gone.
it's gone fast, just like the show does every Saturday morning. We can't keep up with it. But Steve, right, first, before we get into what's going on in Kentucky Lake, I got to ask you the date for your Fishing for a Cure, your tournament.
Yeah, my Casting for a Cure comes up on June the 8th. That's Free Fishing Day in Tennessee, so we try to coincide with that every year. And so we were already busy working on that. And I'll be talking to you some more about that between now and here. We're excited about that.
This is how many years for that?
Well, it's our 19th.
19th.
Awesome.
I don't know where the time's gone on that either.
Yeah.
By golly, it has.
Well, we appreciate that's June, and that's going to be at up at McKenzie.
Yeah, City Park, right in McKenzie.
City Park, right in downtown
Right.
McKenzie. You can't miss it. That's they got a big sign. Welcome to the home of Steve McAdams. When you come into McKenzie there, so
yep, they don't, but they should.
But they don't. But they do have a red light, though. So let's
They have several red
Hey,
lights
let's talk
here.
about it. Kentucky Lake. We've been talking about transitions and things. Ron was saying some water temperatures. Talk about it from the crappie angle. This so far this spring, Steve. What's it been?
Well, we've had a pretty tough spring overall on our crappie here in
Yes,
Kentucky
that's
Lake.
what I heard.
We've been below average this year. We've had a lot of fluctuation in water and lake level too, and a combination of wind. And we've had a lot of variables, but we've got some weak year classes that we're still trying to recover from 2 or 3 years ago, and it takes time to work out of the slump. There have been a few decent days this year by some guys long lining and trolling, and that angle, those techniques have paid off better than the old vertical fishing like I do, or casting grubs, and some of the old traditional spots and areas have not paid dividends like trolling and spider rigging have, because those guys are covering a little bit more water and catching scattered fish. So we've had to adapt and overcome some of this year, and I've already switched hats here. The last week or two, I've gone to shell cracker.
That's what I want to
Hey,
ask.
they
you
are
about.
biting, aren't they?
Yeah, talk about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, talk about
I
that.
love that each year. We only get about a real good month of red hot fishing, and we're in about the second week of that already, and it's been holding up quite well. Our lake's coming up a little bit. We're going to be at 360.3 by this weekend, and that's a foot and 3/10 above normal, actually. So the Mississippi River being high like it is, it's starting to kind of hold Kentucky Reservoir and not discharge as fast as they normally would. So we're coming up as a result of high water on the Mississippi, but it's not enough to have an adverse effect on the bluegill or the red ear fishing. A lot of good stringers being caught, and of course crickets and red worms are the two best things. Larva or mealworms always work good on those red ear, but they're spawning around the shoreline buckbushes and shallow grass, and you can take some light tackle and have a lot of fun. And some of the fish, you'll catch a few up close to the pound range, and that's a lot of fun.
That is fun. A lot of folks they say, well, I want to catch fish. Well, this is the time to do it.
And those are great fish
and they
to
eat
catch,
good.
and they eat well.
Yeah,
very well.
They eat really well, and they're fun to catch. And I don't know, the limit is kind of liberal. So
it is.
Now, talk
20
about
on
the
red
limit
ear,
there.
no limit on bluegill, but
20 on red ear and
20 on red ear, and you can keep going on bluegill. And our bluegill fishing's holding up pretty good. I think our numbers are down a little bit on bluegill because we lost our aquatic vegetation here the last 2 to 3 years, and that's had a little adverse effect on some of the bluegill, but it's still good. You can still go out and catch a lot. Most guys are anything light tackle or ultralight. But there's a few people still fishing long telescopic poles around in thick bushes once in a while for the red ear. But it's going good. It should hold up another couple of weeks here. So last all the way up through Memorial Day and sometimes up into about the first week of June.
You know, we've talked so much. It rains every Thursday. It seems like it rains every Saturday. We've dealt with these conditions before. I don't want to compare it to duck season, but I'm telling you what, I'm tired of rain, okay? I mean...
it's been tough, yeah. We've had an abundance of it, too much rain, actually, and our lakes have really been on a roller coaster this year on our lake road, you know.
Yeah. That's right.
And it's still going. Usually by now it's stable and settled down, but it hasn't.
It's still
crazy
the same.
Things going on.
Still the same. Well, tell our listeners how to get in touch with you, because, folks, if you want to have a good time with a man that knows this lake more than anyone else up there, it's Steve
fun
McAdams.
To be with.
Yeah, and take care of you and everything. How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, the best way to reach me is through my website or email at stevemcadams.com. So just log on and shoot me an email anytime, and I'll be glad to get back to any of your listeners. And you go to
lroutdoors.com. We've just posted the latest, always one of the top fishing reports Steve does. That's a lot of information in there, and you can find his information on lroutdoors.com, the fishing report. I don't know how you do that and keep up with all that, but you do a great job, Steve. And
well, thank you.
And appreciate you.
Keep it fresh every week. Keep everybody updated.
Well, I'm about as fresh as you can get. I may not look it sometimes, but hey, buddy, thank you. We'll stay in touch. Right. Okay, man. Appreciate you.
Good to be with you guys.
All right, thanks, Steve. All right, Steve McAdams.
I'll tell you, he's a wonderful fellow, and he's got a wealth of knowledge of not only Kentucky Lake, but the crappie fishing and fishing overall. In general, there at Kentucky.
So go to lroutdoors.com. We gotta squeeze in this guy because people are asking me. You know, the transition period.
And I want to know.
Yeah, everybody wants to know when's it happening. Primary tackle, and who best to talk to is than David Best. No pun intended. But okay, David. This is May the 11th, the day before Mother's Day, and don't forget that tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. If you do, shame on you. But talk about it, David. Where are we right now?
Okay, so right now we are in the process of getting our store pretty well, trying to get the last few transitions closed down here at the store, getting ready to move over to S.Y. Wilson. On Monday, we are going to start construction of the slat walls and some of the other stuff in order to start that transition, to start taking product over to their building.
And you hope to still, are you looking at end of the month, you hope, or are you going to be?
End of the month, yeah. Oh, yeah, it'll be end of the month. We've got a pretty seamless plan put together as far as how to transfer product over and to get our invoicing straight as we pull it over and all that kind of stuff. So we are pretty well ready to go.
And you will stay open at your present location until when?
Probably May the 26th.
May the 26th.
It might be a little longer. It might be a little shorter based on how sales go.
Okay.
You know, we've already got a good bit of product over here on sale.
That's what we want to find out.
Want to know what do you got on sale?
Yeah, you got some stuff on sale. You got a moving sale, hopefully. Okay.
We do. We have a pretty good little moving sale going. We've got some Jinko crankbaits for $6.
Okay.
The crappie crankbaits for $5. We got some shimmer spins, which is a neat little swinging spinnerbait from Flatlands.
Okay.
All right. $4.
Great Mother's Day gifts. These are great Mother's Day gifts.
Yeah.
You know, so
great Mother's Day gifts.
So right now. Today, you'll open the day on Saturday. At what time?
At 10 o'clock. We're still going to be at our normal time frame, 10 to 5 on Saturday.
Okay. And then during the week, next week, you'll be on your regular time. And that's what time is that? 10 to 6?
10 to 7.
10 to 7. Okay. Now, are you going to be able to continue your podcast and things, David, when you move to Arlington?
We will. Yep, we will. We actually... we're going to end up eventually building out a full-blown studio there in S.Y. Wilson for the podcast and everything. We've still got a little work to do there on that part right now. We're just trying to get inventory transitioned over and get those pieces done.
So your next podcast will be you do that on Thursday, don't you? I mean
Thursday night.
Thursday night, folks.
7 o'clock.
I've clicked in. They know I'm in. They tell me Larry Ray's in. I've been on with Billy Blakely live. I've been on with Bill Dance live, but the first time I ever did it was on Primary Tackle Live, and there got my name up there, and I was there. So it's a really cool thing that they do, and I'm really looking forward. The new store, S.Y. Wilson, it's on the square, I guess you can call it. If you're not familiar with it, we lost David. That happens.
Well, that's all right.
It happens in radio land.
That happens. And
let's see if we can get him back on real quick, and before we have to cut out for the day, David, because we want to find out exactly where that.
So that the thing we wanted to know was
sales.
That the store is still going to continue to be open. That's out in Bartlett right now.
Yeah.
Up until about the 25th, 6th.
Yeah, that weekend, Memorial Weekend. And then
Memorial Day weekend, then he'll be
open that Monday after Memorial Day. That will be
Tuesday.
Tuesday, probably. Yeah.
Tuesday.
All right, but we're gonna check and see if we can get David back on. Here he comes. All right, let's get David. We got David back on here coming in. Sorry, David, about that, but
no, I think it's on my end.
So now when you make the move, and you'll be in there. Hopefully Memorial Weekend you'll be after that next Tuesday. Is that what you're looking at? The Tuesday after Memorial Weekend? Are you hoping to be out there, or
we'll already be operating out there that week?
Okay,
Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
Now it'll still be kind of hit and miss because we'll be operating 2 stores still. So, but me and my sister will be splitting up the duties of being there. I'll be there most of the time. Once we get it switched over, it'll be me there 5 days a week. I mean, Teresa will probably work a couple.
It's not that far. For people wondering what S.Y. Wilson is, it's I think it's been there since the Civil War. You're right there on the square. I mean, not the square, but it's right.
Yeah, we're on the square.
Right off Highway 70. Right off Highway 70. Okay.
Yep, we're right there across from the train depot, right next to Vinegar Gyms.
That's it. Okay, give us a location.
We're in the old Mercantile Building. The address is 12020 Walker Street, and that is you're right, Larry. It's an old Mercantile Building that's been there since the 1800s.
Wow.
So, and what S.Y. Wilson is they're their clothing company, and they sell a ton of kayaks.
And you're right
there. They have
there.
Hobie and Feel Free and New Canoe and several of those brands.
Well, we appreciate you taking. We got to get out of here. Thanks, right. David. Thanks for being with us, folks. We'll keep up with David. Let us know what's going on. Okay, buddy?
Will do. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, David. All right. David Best. Let me tell you about next week really quick. Hunter Henley is going to be on with us as we talk TWRA fisheries. Scott Tillman, he is with Stray Arms USA. They're getting ready to have the 2nd annual Toughest Hunters in the Alps. I always want to talk to somebody about that. And then we're going to talk about Hunters for Hungary with the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Frank Barton will be our co-host. Ron Wong, thank you for being with us today, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Shelby McCall. This is Larry Ray. Remind you, don't forget tomorrow is Mother's Day. You didn't think I was going to say that again, but I am. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. What else, Ron?
God bless the USA.